Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So first of all, I'm glad that I'm back. I thought that it would be hard to stay motivated, but I was so glad that I could film this video for today. So as of now, I'm going to try my best to keep it to one video a week. When I can, it's going to be 2 videos a week. But you have to understand that in my previous video, I also explained that I was getting out of a reading slump. So it's taking me a while to get the footage and the material for me to film videos for you guys. I don't want to film video just because, and I just don't want to bore you with things that you don't want to listen about. I feel like the real chit chat sit down videos really work well for you guys. For example, the time I was talking about book boyfriend. So if you have any topics that I can relate to books and that you want me to discuss, I would be glad to do it for you guys. So let me jump straight into the video. So this is gonna be a review of a book that I just finished literally yesterday, but it's not gonna be just the book, it's gonna be a review of the whole series, but I'm gonna try to keep it short because if you guys know Deveney Perry, when she does a series, you could read each book as a standalone, but the thing is, you're introduced to the love interests in the book in previous books. So for you to completely understand the full picture and for you to grasp the story and understand how their love story developed, you have to read each book. And the thing is, this series, The Eden, there's a lot of mysteries going on. There's a lot of stuff happening that relates in each of the book, and it's a continuation. So it's really difficult for me to give a full plot without giving it away, ruining it, or giving spoilers. So what I'm gonna do is describe each book that came before Sable Peak, because Sable Peak is the book I'm going to focus on because it's the one I just finished, and maybe I can talk about how I found Deveney Perry and all of that. So let me know if that works for you. And I'll do the same for next series, because I know that in previous reviews sometimes I give away too much. It's because I'm really passionate about books. Like, I want to tell you the story how I lived it, and sometimes I don't realize that I'm giving too much details, I'm giving too much of the story, and I'm ruining it basically for the person watching. Because if you're a person that doesn't like to be spoiled, it's gonna kill it for you. Personally, I don't care. So for me, whether it's books, series, movies, I don't care being spoiled, even if it's like, a huge reveal. So you have the Eden. So I'm gonna speak. Oh my god, I just flashed you guys. So you have the 6 series. I'm gonna put the illustration, and first of all, I really like the cover and the colors that she used. I feel like really represent each of the story, but maybe that's just me. So you have to know that in the Edens stands for the Edens family. So you have 6 siblings. So you have I'm not sure who is oldest. I think it's Griffin, and then Knox, so both boys, and then you have 2 twin sisters. You have Talia and Lila, and then you have Eloise, and then Mateo. I'm pretty sure that's the order, but if I got it wrong, please let me know. So the first book is called Indigo Ridge, and it's about Winslow and Griffin. So Winslow, at the beginning of the book, is a cop arriving in Quincy. So Quincy is the town where everything is happening, by the way. So Winslow is just arriving in Quincy, and she's gonna be the next chief of police. And we explained that her grandfather is the mayor of the town, and she wants to prove people that she didn't get the job because she's related to the mayor, but she's actually a good cop. And there's a murder mystery going on because a woman is found dead on the property of the Edens, and people are wondering how she died and what happened to her. So this is going to be the book of the love story between Winslow and Griffin. Griffin is, I think, the eldest of the Edens kids, but I might be wrong. And, he's a rancher, and I think that the lady that died, her body was found on the perimeter of his property. So obviously they're going to have interaction because Winslow is going to, investigate to know what happened to this woman. So this was how the love story developed. From what I remember, I really liked that book. It was the book that really set it up for me, and it's one of the books where I have the most vivid recollection of it, in the sense that I remember even the ending, and I read that book a while ago, and it was recommended by Loda's Makeup, and I loved it. And that's how I think I discovered Deveney Perry, because I always was wondering which of her series really made me fall in love with her, and I think it was definitely the Edens and Indigo Ridge. And at the time, When I read Indigo Ridge, I think only the two next book were out and I binged read them. So this was for Indigo Ridge. Then you have Juniper Hill, and in Juniper Hill you have Memphis, and she's a single mom. She has a son named Drake, and she's trying to raise him on her own. And she's looking for accommodation in Quincy because she's gonna be the new housekeeper in the Eloise Inn. One thing you have to know, the Edens are really prominent in the Quincy town. They have several businesses, so they have their ranch, they have the Eloise Inn, so a hotel, they have Knuckles, so it's a restaurant that is attached to the Eloise Inn, kind of, and then you have the Eden's Coffee, which is run by one of the twin sister, Lila. So, and even the other siblings, I mean, Talia works at the hospital, so all of them are really included in the community. So in this book, Memphis is gonna work for Eloise, and Eloise suggests that if she's looking for accommodation, she can live in the loft that is above her brother Knox's house. And Knox is really, you know, a bit standoffish at the beginning of the book. It doesn't really want to let people in, let alone Memphis and her crying baby. But as the story progresses, he got attached to Drake, and he really started to help Memphis out because she really needed the help. You know, raising a baby alone is really difficult, and you're gonna get the whole backstory of her baby, why she's a single mom, and this is their love story. And then I jumped into Garnet Flats, and I have to say, I think it was my least favorite of the series, and I'm really sorry because I know a lot of people loved it. But first of all, I don't really do well with second chances love stories. Not that it wasn't written well and explained thoroughly, but it's not something that I really enjoy, and this one was no surprise. So it's between Talia, so she's the doctor of the family, and her ex-boyfriend Foster, and he's a famous, I think it's either UFC fighter or boxer, you know, something like that. I don't remember the specific. And he arrives in Quincy for a short period of training, and the story between them, because years have went by since they broke up, is that Foster left her and got married with her best friend, and so he's gonna have to explain why, and also he shows up with a kid that is taken care of. So it's a lot of information to process for Talia, and she's wondering if she can, you know, let him in, and the girl, and if she can also, you know, get over the whole story and why he left her, especially for her best friend. So it made sense in the book from what I remember, but I was still like, ugh, you know, this is not the kind of story that I enjoy reading. But when I say least favorite, meaning that I would give it like 3.5 stars. It's not like I would, you know, flunk the book or something like that. But compared to Indigo Ridge and Juniper Hill, for which I would give solid 5 stars, it was a letdown for me. Then I waited for Devney to come out with Jasper Vale, and I really enjoyed it. I loved it. It was about Eloise and Jasper, who is I think he's foster coach or something like that, but yeah, he's helping him train. And basically they met that way, and when they were in Vegas for one of Foster fight, Eloise got married to him accidentally when she was drunk. I mean, both of them were drunk, and they decided for whatever reason, because now that I can't remember exactly, but they decided for whatever reason to stay married and fake the wedding. And you know how it goes with fake relationship, fake dating. You end up falling in love because you have to play the game, and the game end up playing you. So I really loved it because it was lighthearted, just like Eloise. Her personality is really bubbly and lighthearted, and she's I don't know if she's the baby of the family or if it's Matteo, but I know she's one of the youngest, and she wants to be taken seriously by her parents. She wants to take care of the hotel, and she feels like they don't really give her the opportunity to prove herself compared to her siblings, because at some point her parents wanted to give the hotel to Knox, because he's already taking care of the restaurant attached, and it was a reason of, you know, maybe he can handle both of those, because they explained in the story that some years ago an incident happened and they felt like she wasn't ready to take the hotel. And I think being married was one way for her to prove them right, it was one way for her to prove them wrong. So yeah, but you know how it ended up. And then there is Crimson River. And this is one of the books that is kind of blurry to me, not because I didn't enjoy it, but the specific of how the love story happened, I don't remember, so I want to go back to it and read it because I really loved it. It brought me back to the first book because it was a mystery book and something really terrible happened in it, and it kept me, I was holding my breath the whole time I was reading, and the culmination to the end when you get the big reveal was wonderfully written by Deveney Perry. She's a mastermind. So basically you have Lila, she's the other twin sister, and she is, getting over not a heartbreak, but I think she had feelings for Jasper before he got accidentally hitched to her sister, and she's getting over that, and she's married to her job. She doesn't really have time to date and all of that. And one time when she's on a hike, she gets attacked by a man. And turns out he's a fugitive. His name is Cormac, and his former best friend, who is a cop, is looking for him because he want to catch him before the FBI does and maybe end up killing him, because he want to understand why Cormac ran away after killing his wife and his 2 daughters, and the last one is missing. So presumably he killed his whole family. So Vance, the best friend, want to understand why, and because Lila was attacked by him, she's gonna have a lot of interaction with Vance because he want to understand, how it came about and why his best friend that he doesn't really know to be somebody violent would do something like that. So this story is whole, Lila getting by her trauma, and you have Vance looking for Cormac, and you're gonna get a big reveal at the end. I understand the whole story and why everything happened, and I really, really enjoyed it. The one thing that I didn't really get was that I feel like people in the review were like, oh, I don't understand why Cormac was treated this way after attacking Lila, which, did we read the same scene? He almost killed her, and you're gonna understand why in the next book when I'm explaining, but he doesn't really deserve redemption. Like, okay, we can understand why he did some of the things he did. I'm not gonna reveal anything, but attacking her was, out of line. So I didn't understand the understanding mindset of people towards Cormac, but this is just me. And then you have Sable Peak. So Sable Peak was really nice, but I would say it's not my least favorite because, like I said, I didn't really enjoy Garnet Flats. I don't want to say that it was as hard for me to read. So Sable Peak, it was nice, but I felt like it made no sense. Let me explain. So I'm going to give a little spoiler because I cannot give you the name of the character that we're going to talk about for you to understand. So this is the love story between Matteo and Vera. And Vera is the daughter of Cormac, which, ta-ta, is not dead. So yeah, at the end of, Crimson River, we're gonna find Vera and understand where she was the whole time. And she's gonna stay in Quincy to recover because she wanna be close to Vance because she feels like she doesn't have any more family. And the whole book is her looking for her dad. Even though he told her, to go away, live her life, be happy. And I'm not going to get too deep into that because I don't want to give more spoilers. But yeah, it's her going on hikes and looking for him. And she developed a one-sided crush for Matteo along the line when she was recovering in Quincy. So she started by living with Lila and Vance, and then she lived on her own in the loft that the Edens have on their property. And the thing is, her having a crush made sense because the first part of the book is her story, her point of view, her being, her crushing on him and him not really noticing her. What I have a problem with is this next part of the book where it's his point of view and out of the blue he's in love with her. Because she confessed to him one day when she was drunk, and he decided that, oh, now I have feelings for you. It makes sense. I like you. I don't know how I didn't felt that way before. And one thing that I have to mention is that he's a newly single dad because he has a kid with no mom, and you're gonna understand that in the story. And so he's navigating all of that. But to me, the love story didn't make any sense. Like, if you didn't see that girl for years when she was crushing after you, and now all of a sudden, because she has a bond with your daughter and because she confessed, you're in love. So this is the aspect of the story that I didn't enjoy. And I feel like they didn't develop Vera as a character other than that. She's a trauma girl. Her dad is on the loose, like running from the FBI. She's looking for him and she has a crush on Matteo, We didn't know about her past, about how she was when she was away and out of the civilization when Vance was looking for her. There's so much things that were left unexplored, and I expected, you know, Devney to go out with a bang because it was the end of the series, and I was so happy, and you know, so that we could have something to hold on until the next series come out. But and I'm trying to be careful because I love Devney down. I love her so much. But I was really disappointed. It was so anticlimactic. It was so underwhelming. I feel like for ending, the love story didn't make sense. I was happy that we got a glimpse of the other couples, but yeah, Matteo and Vera to me didn't make sense. I'm sorry, guys. It was beautifully written, like like every time, but to me it didn't make sense, and I hope the next series that she comes up with will be, you know, more enjoyable for me. I still have to catch up on a few of her series that are already out, so it's not the ending for me with Deveney Perry, but this video is getting a bit longer and I don't want to do all of the series. But one that I loved by her, like top to bottom, no disappointment, all of the books were 5-star for me, was Larkov series, and so I'm gonna talk about it soon, I think, in a video, so that you guys can see why I love her so much. And she made me love small town romances, so yeah, I don't know. But overall, if I would have to give a rating to the overall stories and the overall series, I would give it a 4 stars. Even if there were 2, you know, flunk for me, still the other 4s were so amazing that I cannot, you know, fault her for that, because even the greatest people sometimes makes mistakes. You know, I'm a big Beyonce fan, but I don't love all of her music. So yeah, Deveney Perry, see you in the next series for sure. I will tune in. But yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the small little videos. The sun is not helping, like I look like a shiny donut. But yeah, I don't want to do this video again because I feel like I was talking so naturally, so I'm gonna keep it like that and try to adjust it on the computer. But I hope you guys had a great time with me whenever you guys are watching, and that it will make your Sunday a little bit happier. I will see you guys in the next video, so either next Sunday or if I have the content for it, maybe on Wednesday. Bye.